How's it going, guys? We are saving seeds today. It's time in the garden to start saving some seeds. A few things have fizzled out. I've missed the window on a few other things, but I did save seeds already of a few other things, and I wanted to show you guys that. But first thing, I picked up a whole pack of seed packets. So I've got these super cute little seed packets. I picked these up from Amazon. I will put the link down below. They were super cheap. I don't remember how much they were, but it's like 200 seed packets, which that'll last me forever. So I've got these guys. They've got a nice little like seal on them, and then I can write on them everything that I need to know about them. So let me go over the two things that I've already saved seeds for, because they are very different, and you kind of have to expect different things from them. So let me show you guys those, and then we're gonna go head out into the garden and save seeds of a few other things. So the very first thing that I did was I saved seeds from poppies, and this is a poppy seed head right here. They look so weird, and I just cut them off at the stem, and you can tell that they're ready because they start to open up a little bit like that. You can kind of see in there, and then all you do is you shake it like this. You see all of those little seeds coming out. And there are tons of them that come out of these things. I have a few of them here that I was waiting to dry off. You guys can see they just flick seeds everywhere. Usually what I end up doing is I go and I cut that top little flowery part off. I cut this section off so it's open like this, and then I just dump this out like that, and then they all fall out. This one's still drying a little bit, so the seeds aren't fully developed. But this one, and from just a very small patch of poppies, there's about 1 million seeds in here. This is from the poppy called Swan's Down, which is one of my favorite poppies. Poppies do cross-pollinate though, so I did have them. They're right there. They are next to my Amazing Gray poppies and Thai Silk poppies. So there's a chance that they will cross-pollinate, but I think it's worth it. I don't know, I think maybe if they got the like qualities of the Swans Down with like a little bit of a gray color, that'd be really pretty. So I saved a whole bunch of seeds for these. I'm gonna clean them out, which is just getting all the like, all of this stuff right here. This is called like chaff or chafe or whatever it is. I'm gonna get all of this out of the seeds right here, and then I will go ahead and put them in their own little seed packet. So that's one thing, is poppy seeds do cross-pollinate, so kind of have to be aware of that. If you don't want them to cross-pollinate, you need to put them pretty far apart. It's a couple 100 feet away from each other, which mine were like 3 inches from each other. So I'm sure they did cross-pollinate, but that's all right with me. So saved seeds from this one, the Swan's Down, and then I also have already saved seeds from the sweet peas because they were starting to send out their seeds. So let me show you guys the sweet peas that I've already saved. Okay, so I have a bucket of sweet peas in here. And what happens is when they are ready to be harvested, they look like this. You can see how they're kind of translucent, and you can see the seeds in them. But when they are ready to shoot their seeds out themselves, they end up doing this. They split and then they twirl. Some of them I've been able to save before they shot out their seeds. So I have quite a few that did this like twirly thing on there, but they still are holding their seeds in there. Not those little tiny things right there. It's that bigger guy right in there, and those right in there. So those are the sweet pea seeds. I have a whole bunch of them down here. I don't know if you guys can see. I have a whole bunch of them down there at the very bottom of this bucket. Sweet peas though are really cool because they do come back true to a variety. They don't cross-pollinate, so I can have them all right next to each other, which is what I did. And I grew 3 or 4 different varieties this year. I only saved the ones from the chocolate streamer, and there was another variety that I also saved. So I saved 2 varieties, but I just mixed them in here. I'm not too worried about it. I also know that these, because there's quite a few that are over there that I did not catch. They had already spun and shot their seeds out, and there was just like empty little guys like this just sitting on the vine still. So I know that there's a whole bunch of sweet pea seeds sitting out there in my garden somewhere. So I gotta come by and I gotta come clean these, which is getting all the seeds out of this. So there's my little sweet pea seed right there, and then tossing it, or it involves me coming along and opening these guys up. Kind of hard to open. You can see right there, 3 little sweet pea seeds. And And we just drop those into the bucket. And we're gonna toss all of those guys, and I'm gonna go harvest a few more sweet pea seeds, because the sweet peas and the poppies were kind of the big things that I really wanted to make sure that I got, and so I did them pretty early, because sweet pea seeds are not cheap and poppy seeds were not cheap. I think I got maybe 35, I think I got 50 poppy seeds in a packet, and I think the packet was like $6. So kind of expensive. So I made sure to save seeds from my poppies and now my sweet peas. So there's a couple other things I want to go harvest some zinnias, and I want to go harvest a few other things around the property that are ready. A lot of things aren't quite ready. These are mostly like cool season crops that are totally ready to be harvested, and a few of these warmer season crops that started producing really early. Let's go harvest all of those guys, and then I'll show you guys cleaning and putting them in their own little seed packets. And I'm also going to show you guys where I store all of them, because I try to keep them in a dry, cool, dark environment, yada yada yada. Oops, I'm dropping sweet pea seeds. Okay, let's go do that before I drop any more. Okay, so I just harvested 2 zinnias, and let me show you guys this. So this one is the stage that you want to harvest your zinnias at, when all of the petals have died back. You cannot harvest it at this stage because there's going to be no seeds in here. So how zinnias work is they're cross-pollinated. So if you're only growing one variety of zinnia, you don't have to worry about cross-pollination. This one is an all-white variety, and at the time that this one was blooming and being pollinated, there was nothing else on the property for zinnia that was producing flowers. So there's no way that this flower right here is cross-pollinated. But this one is only going to have a few seeds on it. So at each one of these petals is a seed. So you just pop off the flower part, and then there's your seed. Pop it into your jar that you're going to save it all in. So as far as saving zinnia seeds go, the more flower petals that are on it, the more that you're going to get. So popping the rest of those guys off. So now pulling all of these off, there's a whole bunch of seeds in here. So now you have to decipher between the chaff of this, which is all of these little guys, and finding the seeds, which look quite a bit larger. So there's a seed in comparison to some of the chaff. We're gonna dump all of this in, we're gonna dump all of it into our jar, save all of it. Best form of practice though, if you know, I mean, you don't need a million seeds. One flower's worth of seeds is so much more than enough. If you wanna do it easy, all you do is you pull out where the petal is, and there's a seed right at the base of that. Pop that guy off, and then there's your zinnia seed. So you can do that, and every single one of these petals will have a little seed saved to it. If I were to pull all of these guys out, you can see all the seeds. I'm gonna pop these into my jar. You can see some of them are actually not even ready. Let me show you. Like, see that guy? It's very green. That one's not ready yet. So we're gonna ignore that guy, but these lower ones that are nice and brown are very ready. Pull all of these guys out. Anything that comes out very easily. And these ones that are coming out not so easily, you can see how green they are. Those are not ready. And then at this point, there's really not gonna be a whole lot of seeds left in here because we pulled most of them out with the flower petals. There are gonna be a few of them, but that's just like, you can see this one's attached to an old petal. There's not a whole lot in here, so I don't really save them at this point because it's not worth it for me to have to dig through and clean all of these seeds. There are still seeds in here. You can see there's one right there. Just in this handful, I see 3 seeds. And then I have to sit here and clean through all of that. And then same thing with this section here. I can divide through it 1 seed because I pulled the rest out with the petals. And then these ones right here, these are all green, so not worth it. So like I said, I don't really deal with this section when they start looking like this. A lot of work to clean the seeds. And if I'm saving seeds from a bunch of different things around the property, it's not really worth it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's a whole bunch stuck together right here. This one's a weird one. Yeah, I don't know. It's not worth it when it's like that. When they're still attached to this and they're in that like cone shape thing, to me it's not worth it. I prefer just pulling out the individual petals and then I can just pop them off just like that, and there's your seed. So like I said, zinnias do cross-pollinate. So if you're wanting to create a new variety of zinnia, go for it. All you have to do is make sure that they've bred with one another. So like my zinnia plants, I'm right next to another zinnia plant. like this one right here, these are all very, very short flowers. These are the ones that are like much lower on the plant, and I know that they have not been cross-pollinated, so I won't be saving seeds from these expecting them to be anything special. Just coming back true to the parent variety. Same thing, pop these seeds off like that, pull these flowers, pop seeds off, get rid of the chaff, and then like I said, I'm sure there's a lot more seeds in here. There's not many, so it's not worth it to me. Come through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seeds. So I don't save seeds from them when they look like that. I save them when they have all of their petals still on, because it's so much easier and so much faster. So that's saving seeds from zinnias. If you want to try making a new variety, all you have to do is wait till a bunch of your zinnias are blooming, and then you can hand pollinate them and save the seeds from that one. You want to isolate it, so you can put over a mesh bag. You can, I mean, that's pretty much the most common practice, is putting a little mesh bag over it and isolating that, and then you wait and save seeds, and then you've come up with a new variety. So I've got in here a whole bunch of zinnia seeds. I need to go process the rest of these guys, but we're gonna go pull some seeds from a few other things around the property now. Okay, it's really bright up here, but the last thing that we're gonna save seeds from is from our cosmos up here. So they're starting to fizzle out a little bit. You can see there, the petals have started to fall off of some of these guys. These are one of the easiest ones to save seeds from. So I save seeds every single year from these guys. Really, really easy. Let me turn the camera around and show you guys how we're gonna save seeds from them. All right, well, there's my budworm. He's gonna have to go. So I'm gonna do that off camera. This little guy is gonna start destroying my garden. When harvesting your cosmos, you just come along, any one that looks like that, put all that in the palm of our hand there, and then we're gonna blow. Okay, the wind actually ended up taking most of that. All that's left now are these beautiful seeds. We're just gonna go ahead and pop those in our jar. I'm gonna continue doing the same thing on all of these ones that are totally open, and then letting the wind take pretty much everything else. So there's ones that are close to being ready to harvest, and it's these guys. This one is ready to harvest. So ones like this are pretty close to being ready to harvest. All of this will die back, and it'll start shooting its seeds out from the center there. See the ones on this one, the blooms just died off of this. And let's see, this one here, you can kind of see the seeds forming. Those little black dots right there, those black lines, those are all going to be the seeds of this Cosmo right here. And once this fully opens, then I'll be able to come and harvest this. But if I harvest them now, they're not going to be fully mature. This is what you want to look for. You can see the seeds still attached. They should just pop right off, just like that. And then we blow off all of that extra little stuff down there. I'm going to pull all these guys to the center of my palm. And then all of that, we're just gonna take one deep breath and blow. There's a whole bunch of them in here. And then we're just gonna pull the seeds off of these guys. And then you're left with all of this extra debris. I'm gonna let the wind take most of that. And then those are pretty much cleaned up. These guys clean up themselves really, really easily. Just kind of lightly roughing up the seeds a little bit. Some of them might fall out, that's okay. Those are pretty much clean. So cosmos are ones that will cross-pollinate, so that is something that you need to keep in mind, that if you save seeds over the years, that they will probably end up changing a little bit. They won't come back true to the same variety. You can see I have lots of pinks in here. I do have a couple red ones, and then there's a couple little tiny, let me see, there's a couple little tiny white guys right down there, and these have all been pollinated by each other, and so they will cross-pollinate. So I save the seeds and I just throw them in here, and I expect a scattered mix every single year of my Cosmo seeds. So I do this every year, towards the end of the year especially. Once they've all fizzled out, then I just come and I chop them, and I just save every single bloom head, and I'll fill this thing up with seeds. They produce so many seeds, it's insane. Okay, so we're inside now because it is so hot out there, but I have my seed packets. First thing I need to do is label them. I'm only going to put 3 of these seeds in seed packets. I'm gonna do the poppies, the sweet peas, and the zinnias. The cosmos, I'm gonna do something a little bit different with those. So let's go ahead and write these down, and then we're also gonna make sure that we put the year. Okay, those 3 are labeled, and let me show you what I'm gonna go ahead and do with my Cosmos first. So this is the little batch that I harvested. It's not very many seeds. There's barely anything in there. This is my ones that I harvested from last year. So you can see there's a lot of stuff in here. However, this packet is not cleaned at all. So there is lots of the chaff and there's lots of like flower petals and all kinds of other stuff in here. And I'm just gonna take these and dump them in here with this. This is the packet that I use throughout the year. I actually end up taking this and I just scatter this where I want them to grow. It's so easy to just pull these seeds and just drop them in here. That's all I do is I usually end up just taking this and I just drop all the petals and everything inside this. Cosmos germinate so easily that I don't really worry about cleaning them. And because it's my own personal seed packets, I don't care what they look like. And I just keep them in this giant jar like this. And it's easy, I just walk around and I sprinkle them everywhere I want. So that is one of them done. Next, we're gonna clean off the zinnias that we have in here. So I'm gonna dump these guys out on this table. And I do want these ones cleaned up a little bit because I'm gonna be more meticulous. There's a spider. Oh my gosh, what do I do? Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to call Brent. He's in the jar, he climbed in the jar. Look at, he's right there.
Oh.
So you're gonna have to just take him outside. He's gotta go. Okay. Thanks. Okay, that's all taken care of. Now plan is to clean off the zinnias. Like I said, these ones are really easy, but I'm gonna just drop the seeds in here. That way I can separate them. Pulling these guys off, dropping all of the chaff that's on here, and saving the seeds. I don't need to save a whole bunch of seeds from this, but I would like to save a decent amount. Saving seeds from these guys is so easy. I showed you guys when I was out there in the field doing it. One of the easiest flowers to save seeds from. Like I said, so these are just the flower petals right here in my hand. And I actually ended up getting one of them. I just dumped everything in here, the whole cone. And you guys can see this is a lot more messy than it would be just to pop off the seeds from the petals that are here. So scooting all that over. Normally I would do this outside and you would take it and you could drop it and you just blow. And the chaff blows away very lightly and the seeds, because they're so much heavier, they drop. And then you just save all the seeds. But I'm doing this inside because it's 110 outside. Saving seeds this way, doing it inside is so much slower, but still totally worth it. And it's so much easier when you're out there and you're saving your zinnia seeds. When you pull the petals out, if you just pop them off and then drop them in to your vial that you're saving, then you don't have to deal with doing this anywhere else. Pop off, drop everything else, and I'm just gonna repeat this process for these guys. This is pretty much everything we're not saving. It's mostly just chaff, which is basically just the excess that comes from around the seed. And then some of these seeds right here, which are very light colored, and I'm not gonna save the ones that are the lightest color or that are very thin or kind of flimsy. I wanna save good, strong, healthy looking seeds. So this is all of the chaff that came from what I had saved from the zinnias. And I was able to then put all of my zinnias in their own packet. So I've got the zinnias done. I have the cosmos done. Next we're gonna move on to is poppies. And I'm just gonna finish getting the rest of the seeds out of these little seed pods here. Super easy. And then because there's very little chaff in here, I'm not going to worry about cleaning these guys out. I'm just gonna directly put them in their little containers. the inside of these poppies look like. You can see all those little cells in there, and that's what all of the seeds formed on, and that's what they were all stuck to. And then they can come out of those little slits right there at the top. And the very last thing that we're gonna end up saving is sweet peas. I already kind of went over that with you guys really quickly, but I just gotta get these last, I have to get the last of the sweet peas out. They jump quite crazy. They go all over the place. So I'm gonna do this just in this bowl right here on my lap and put all of the chaff in this container here. Dropping all of the extra sweet peas just right here in here. Just right here in this bowl. I'm trying to snap it so the sweet peas then fall and shoot themselves into the bowl. But it's kind of a crazy process, especially on these ones that are all twisted and gnarled. It's not the easiest. And I have a couple that I've saved that are whole still, but some of them I think I saved too early. So this one has, I think, 3. So I got 3 seeds out of this, but let me show you guys. So this right here, you can see those little black dots that are on there. Those eventually would have turned into full sweet pea seeds, but they didn't develop fully. So I'm gonna take 3 of them, better than absolutely nothing, and some of these have already dropped their seeds completely. So we're just gonna continue working to get these guys out of here. I love saving sweet peas because I think I already said this before. They come back true to variety that they are, so I don't have to worry about cross-pollination with them. So the chocolate ones are going to come back chocolate. The other ones, what else did I plant? I planted 2 other varieties, and I saved sweet peas off of 2 of them. One of them smelled absolutely amazing. If I can find the packet of the sweet peas it was, I'll pop the name up on it because that's one that I highly recommend. The chocolate streamer one produced a ton of sweet pea blooms, but they didn't have much of a fragrance. Oh, you guys can see, look at all me. That's a lot of seeds. So there's ones that I definitely recommend over the other ones. There was one that I only got a couple I only got a couple blooms off of it, so it wasn't really much of anything. But this one is, the chocolate streamer was a huge producer. That one did really, really well. I wish that I had gotten out here a little bit earlier to save seeds before they had started to twist and open and shoot their seeds all over the place. But this is still a tremendous amount of seeds that I have in here. Way more than I even started last year. I think the chocolate streamer, I might have only had maybe 10 seeds. I had 12 of each seed. So it wasn't even that many seeds that I got from each one of these. And now I have a huge abundance of seeds. I can't wait to show you guys how many there are right here. And this was like, I ended up pulling a ton of my sweet peas and not saving a lot of them. I saved some just because I knew that I was going to pull seeds from some of them, but I got rid of a ton of them. Okay, these sweet pea seeds fly absolutely everywhere. I'm going to be finding sweet peas all over my house. So all I'm going to do now is try to clean some of this up. Normally, like I said, if I was outside, I would take this and I would just blow in this bowl. And these sweet pea seeds are so heavy that they're not going to go anywhere when you blow. But all of the excess is just going to blow straight away. Just like I did with the Cosmo seeds. You just blow and all of the chaff goes away. So if I was outside, I would do it. But I don't really care to get them 100% clean. But there are a ton of seeds in there now. This is a lot more than I started with last year. So I've got my sweet pea packet made up. And we're just going to go ahead and dump these guys in here. Actually ended up leaving behind a lot of that chaff in there. So dump that out. I got my sweet peas labeled and ready to go. Now I kind of want to show you guys all of the seeds that I've already been saving. So as you guys just saw, I saved sweet pea seeds. So I've got these saved. These will come back true for me every year. The Swan's Down Poppy, and you guys can see how thick that packet is. That is way more seeds than I'm ever going to need in my entire lifetime. I have some broom corn that I saved from last growing season, and I loved growing broom corn. I just didn't grow it this year. And broom corn's pretty cool because it's actually what the Amish people used to make, or still do. They make brooms out of them. It's corn, and when it dries with these like nice strong bristles, and it makes a really good broom. So I grew some of that last year. I have some berry bush, some white berry bush. I actually used this in our wedding, and the seeds had already formed and they were very mature in this. And so I saved some seeds. This is from our wedding, and I was hoping to grow them this year. I just didn't have, I don't know, I didn't have time. Some emerald tassel. There's not a whole lot left of this. I actually ended up giving away, I think, about 40 packets that I had given away. And then this is the amaranth called Coral Fountain. So I have emerald tassel and Coral Fountain amaranth, and this is all I have left. And then I also have some Love Lies waiting, and I was able to give probably about 60 packets of these away last year. These are all from 2022. And then this is my Morning Glory packet. I saved seeds. This is the purple one and the blue one, the chocolate Morning Glory, and then I don't know the name of the blue one. I saved seeds last year, and so lots of these. And then the white zinnias. So I have lots of seed packets here ready to go for next year, and it just kind of shows that, you know, you don't need to buy seed packets every single year. You can save seed packets, and seeds have a very, very long lifespan to them. These are not going to go bad in a year, 2 years. You know, you have 7, 8 years before these guys really start going bad. I've had seed packets that I've kept for 6 years. You just need to start putting more seeds in a hole. So usually with like zinnias, next year I would probably put 1 seed per hole, maybe 2. And then as the years go on, you want to add maybe 3 seeds or 4 seeds. So that way the germination rate stays a little bit higher, because germination does go down on seeds after a couple of years. So after that, then I go and I store these guys in our back office area, and that is, it's a little bit warmer of a room. They would be happier if they were stored somewhere that was cooler. I should probably start storing them in the kitchen in a cabinet, but I store them in the office. It's dark and they're left alone, where you don't want to store them somewhere that gets too hot. So I've got a ton of seeds here, and it's very, very easy to save seeds. I'll be saving seeds throughout the rest of the growing season, and especially into this fall time. So I hope that you guys get out there, save some seeds. Like I said, I will link these little seed packets in the description down below. These are what I save all my seeds in. They're a good little size, and you really can, you can pack them full, but you don't need that many seeds. I mean, geez, the Morning Glories, I will never buy Morning Glories ever again. I'll never buy poppies ever again. So saving your seeds from year to year really helps. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you get out there and save some seeds from your garden this year, even if it's just a few of them. 1 zinnia plant, 1 flower, you know, will save you packets worth. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.